In this video, I'm going over the nuts and bolts of the sample tab within BeatMaker 3 so we can get you sampling in your beats like a pro. Welcome back, creatives. If you're new to Music Technologist, I'm Jahrell, and I make weekly tip and tutorial videos on all things music production. If you enjoy that kind of content, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you can be the first to catch the next one. All right, first things first, I know I have a wicked goggle tan. It's slowly becoming summer here where I live, and we have a pool, so I've been swimming a lot. Anyway, moving on. I just want to say thank you to all of you that are coming on board. A lot of you that are subscribed came to this channel through my BeatMaker Basics tutorial video, which is just past 3,500 views today, which is pretty good for as new of a channel as this is. So thank you guys for showing your support. I promise to continue bringing you guys value in each video. And on that note, let's jump into this tutorial and look at how to use the sample tab in BeatMaker 3. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open a new session. We have our playing tab here, and I'm going to go ahead and switch to the sample tab, which is this one right here. And then I'm going to click right here where it says press to browse samples and drag and drop here. Click that. And then we're going to look at what samples I'm going to use. So I'm going to go up here to the file folder, click on my imports, just because I can find my samples easier that way because I know exactly what folder they're in. So these NYC piano sessions, I've had these samples for years. We're going to look in the Latin folder, and we're going to try Latin Lift. So we'll click and drag that over here. Those of you that don't know, I am using the new Apple Magic Keyboard. So if you see me doing things with a cursor, that's what that is, instead of doing touch. I will do some touch, and I'll do some with the trackpad. That's kind of what my workflow's like now. But anyway, moving on. Now we have our sample loaded in Latin Lift. Let's listen to what it sounds like. All right, cool. There's some very crucial steps that need to happen before we get into slicing or anything. We need to go to this top part here and set the tempo that we want. I'm thinking somewhere around 160, so let's go with that. We're going to drag this up some more. 160. Yeah, let's go with that. Cool. Next, you have to set what the original tempo of this was. Now, I could set it, this is exactly where we'll set it right here, where it says BPM. It's set to 120, that is not the original. If you see up here, it says that Latin Lift 80, that's my tempo of my sample. It's important that you know the tempo of your sample so that you can get this really accurate. If you don't, you're just going to be guessing quite a bit. It's going to take you a while to figure it out. But I know mine's 80, so when I make my beats, I like them to be in double time so that the drums sound good. So instead of just setting this to 80 BPM like this sample says, I'm going to go ahead and set that sample to 160. I'm going to double it up, which just so happens to match the tempo that I chose for the song. It doesn't have to, but it does. So 160 for this original tempo because I doubled it. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this. We're going to chop our samples and put them into this bank right here. And then we're going to start to play them in different ways. So we're going to click this slice mode button. And we're going to click auto slice. And then we'll go by the grid. And we're going to change it to a half grid. So what that does is, as you can see, it makes slices for every half bar. And then we'll go back, and that's what that chunk sounds like. The next thing you want to do is save it for sure. And we're going to slice to pads. So slicing to pads moves everything over for you, just like this. Slice to pads. We'll start on pad 1. That's what we want. And then we'll put choke group 1. Now, what choking does is, essentially, if I press something on a pad, if I press another one right after it, if that first sample didn't finish, and I press the second one, it'll cut off the first one. I know that sounds a little complicated, but I'll explain it. I'll show you how it works in just a sec. So we'll click apply. Boom, there it is. So As you can see, it chopped up every sample into each of these banks. Now, if I press one of these samples and then press the other, it will choke the first one like this. And that's what we want. We don't want them to overlap. So we're going to go ahead and mess with these samples a little bit. I kind of want to maybe change what my second sample is for each one. So I'm kind of going to cut out these middle parts. I like something like that, but here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to change the sample for this specific pad, and I'm going to move it over. We're selected on the third pad. I'm moving it over right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this sample because I would like to reverse this. So I'm going to go into Process, and I'll click Reverse. Boom, now we can go back, and now when I press this pad, it'll reverse it. So I've got, I like that sound. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for each layer. I'm gonna use, this is my first one, that's my second one, and then that's the next chord, next chord, next chord. I'm gonna reverse each one of those. So next one, I'll do this, I'll move this over here, and move that there. Okay, then we'll go to Edit, Process, Reverse. That's what we want. Okay, this chord, I'll move this over here. All right, and then I'm going to go to Edit, Process, Reverse. There we go. And this chord, for the third pad over, I'm going to just drag this whole thing over. All right, and then we'll go to Edit, Process, Reverse. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mess with this sample a bit and play it in. I'm someone that firmly believes in trying to maintain as much originality as possible when using loops. So I don't like to just put a loop on and let it run. I've done it before. And I also don't like to just put the loop on and maybe transpose it. That's something that I know a lot of people do. I've done that too. But what I think is better is when you take a sample, put your own spin on it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play some things in. So I'm going to go back to my bank tab and we're going to give this a go. All right, let's hear how that sounds. All right, I don't know if you noticed, but there was one of those that got a little bit mixed up. It didn't quite line up. It's this note right here. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to edit it to make sure it lines up properly. That's fine. It's this one right here. So I just need to drag this over. Oh, too far. There we go. Now it should sound right. Cool. So this is not the only way to use samples. Another thing you can do is, like I said before, you can just drag a sample in and transpose it. That's probably the easiest way to use samples, and here's how you do that. Click Track, create new audio track, and then we'll go in and actually just grab the sample, Latin lift, and drag it to the audio channel. Exit out here. And here's our sample all the way through, so I'm going to go ahead and mute my first one. Cool. Say I like the way that was played, I like the feel and everything. I just, in order to preserve some bit of originality, I would like to change the key. So all you have to do is go ahead and hit that sample, select it, click Edit. Now we're going to turn on Live Stretch. I use high quality. And then click your BPM. Remember, we changed the BPM to 160 the last time. It's the same thing we're going to do this time. Turn it up to 160. Right there. Again, we're doing that because we want to double the original tempo, because I like to do things in double time. If you're fine with it being half the tempo, go for it. But I would like it to be doubled, so we're going for 160. There it is. And then we'll go to Edit Sample. So next we're going to go to process, stretch, and pitch. We've already set the BPM here. It's 160, so we're good to go. And then we're going to tune it down 2 half steps. Click apply, and you should hear that it is now in a different key. So if you're trying to, find the easiest way to use a sample while still maintaining some sense of originality, you can just go ahead and transpose your samples. Especially if it's going to be something that's in the background and not like a main feature of the track. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll just transpose it and add that element in, not a big deal. But if you're somebody that wants to get into the more advanced forms of sampling, I highly recommend diving into the sample tab. What I showed you guys is literally just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more that you can do with this. But I know for many producers, just being able to get something in, get the right tempo, right key, and then be able to slice it up and play it in, like that's covering the majority of the bases. So that does it for this video, you guys. If you want me to go even more in depth on the sample tab and maybe cover some more things, any questions you have about the sample tab in BeatMaker 3, I'm happy to answer those. Drop some comments down in the comment section and I'll get to those. If you're interested in getting more BeatMaker 3 tutorials and tip videos, I'm gonna link a playlist up right here of videos I've made so far covering BeatMaker 3. I'm gonna go add some drums and bass to this beat, but creatives, go out there and make something dope, and I'll see you in the next video.